The OCG is cooking some wild stuff, let's check it out. All of them are, I do think, people who topped an event in the OCG, so it's very interesting to get a little bit of foreshadowing to what can happen in our format. Before we hop into the spicy stuff, I wanted to mention that almost no one is playing super polymerization. I just wanted to mention that. I told you, what? Anyways, they are of course fully dived into the FIENDSMITH format, so let's look into some spicy stuff. I hijacked the first deck list. One thing that immediately caught my attention that isn't exclusive to the OCG is Chaos Summoning Beast. Currently I'm not a huge fan of it, but with the FIENDSMITH, that card gets a lot better, but on its own it doesn't do anything. Why are people playing that to begin with? The reason is quite simple. Imagine you draw your hand and the only live play you have is opening. You activate opening to search, of course, the Beckoning Beast. Normally you normal summon Beckoning Beast and just grab another opening, since Beckoning Beast sadly can't search itself. Since Beckoning Beast cannot do that, most people will play one additional beast in order to search it instead. You can just use the extra normal summon on it and then have immediate access to the Unchained Engine, something that isn't possible if you only open the opening. I'm not a big fan of that card currently. To cut things short, it's only good if you really only open opening, it only gives you access to the Unchained Engine, nothing more, and it's a very bad draw in any other case. It's okay, I just don't think it's worth it currently, but that changes with the FIENDSMITH. With the FIENDSMITH, one Chaos Summoning Beast transforms one opening into a full Yubel combo, so I can completely understand why everyone is playing that over there. For them, it's just worth it. I can't say too much about the ratios, since of course they are playing the Maxi minigame. Sucks to be you, OCG, so the ratios will be different for us. I can say that the trend is to cut down on the Squirmer, to play 3 FIENDSMITH and only to include the spell you search with them. They play 2 to 3 Phantoms. I do think 2 is completely fine, so it will probably come down to players' preference for us. What people agree on is to play the little FIENDSMITH fusion, since you needed to have access to your Yubel engine if you only open the Beckoning Beast or opening. The big fusion is more or less a 50-50, some are playing it, some are not. I personally really like it, but I will say more about that in my FIENDSMITH video. Now it gets a little spicier. Chaos Angel? Wait. Very interesting and even quite good, I would say. Let me explain. Phantom is a level 9 monster, not level 10 like the normal Yubels, not 11 like Terror Incarnate, or 12 like Ultimate Nightmare. Since Phantom is a level 9, it's very cool to see that we play 3 separate level 1s and one is even light, which means we can get pretty easily access to the Chaos Angel. It's especially broken if you manage to make him with the new Fabled, since then Chaos Angel is unaffected. Only by monster effects though, and otherwise he cannot be destroyed by battle, which is on its own quite good, especially in a Tenpai meta. We have to see, I mean it's good removal, it can help you to go for game, and it can be very annoying for your opponent to get rid of. Very nice tech to see. Interesting to see is that a few people, not everyone of course, but a few people are main decking Bestials. I assume it's to fight off the FIENDSMITH, which is very interesting but a bit too early to tell for us if it's worth it or not. By the way, what the hell are you doing? Bro is playing Heat Wave. You are committing war crimes, my friend. Again Bestials, but he's also playing the Chaos Core. It's basically the same as Chaos Summoning Beast, just a little bit worse if you decide to play Chaos Angel, so just play Chaos Summoning Beast. I have one question. Why? Again Bestials, so very interesting, but way more interesting is that card, and I do think we have to talk about it. Angel of Blue Tears, a card I personally am very uncertain of, but in theory it's very good. Why are people playing it? The important part about the card is that while it's in the graveyard and anybody gets effect damage, you can banish it to set any normal trap from your deck or hand to the field. Okay, that sounds good, but it needs to be in the graveyard and effect damage. Isn't that way too much setup? One FIENDSMITH does that. Yep, literally one FIENDSMITH does all of that. The more I learn about the engine, the more broken it gets. It's insane. You just have to perform the normal FIENDSMITH combo until you reach that point. If you don't know how to do so, check out that video I made, because there I basically showed that. You just overlay the FIENDSMITH and the fusion into Beatrice, and with Beatrice you just activate her effect to send Angel of Blue Tears to the graveyard. Then you perform any link too. It's just important that the fusion under Beatrice goes to the graveyard, because now if it's sent to the graveyard you can trigger its effect to shuffle back any other light feed monster and to give your opponent burn damage. And now, what a coincidence, you can trigger Angel of Blue Tears to banish it from the graveyard and to set any normal trap from the deck. In that case, it's the Black Goat. So in theory, that's very good, but you have to learn one thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! Practice and theory are two different things. Just because something seems good or even broken doesn't mean it translates to that in the actual game. So we have to wait and see, but it's definitely worth it to keep that card in mind. It's honestly very interesting to see what the OCG is currently doing with the Fiendsmith, but I can't wait to see what we will be doing with the new toys. See ya!